This is Boxing Capital, boxing business, and everything behind the punches. I'm Tay.
I'm Sammy.
Serge. And yes, we have a special guest. 2 weeks in a row, we're in Showtime Boxing Gym, and 2 weeks in a row that we have a guest, and we're lucky enough to have the owner of the gym, Serge.
Power Serge.
Power Serge
That's what they call me.
with us this week. So yes, we want to thank you obviously for, hosting us in your space, allowing us to come here. I know you and Sammy go way, way back, so it's nice to have family on the show essentially. And if you guys are ever in Southern California or live in Southern California, make sure you guys come to this gym. It's really nice. Whether you want to be a fitness fanatic, amateur, pro, this is a spot to be. Beautiful, beautiful spot.
It's a good place to train. It's a good place to come and work out. During the COVID bull crap, I was here. I used to work out here, train some people here and stuff like that. But then went back to where I usually go, back to Wildcard. But I always come in here because I know Serge. But for what, 25 years now?
25 years at least.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, a long time.
So most of the people you see me they see me with, I don't have many friends. I'm a guy with few friends.
That's hard to believe, Sammy.
I have a lot of acquaintances, but I don't have that many friends. I say my friends, I count them on one hand. People I call friends.
Small circle.
Yeah.
But that's already beyond the
though.
friendship. It's already family.
Yeah,
That's all.
Exactly. Yeah, but this is a great environment, and most importantly, a great community. Like I said, big time boxers come through here. Everyone from amateur to just, people wanting to work out. So, and then now Boxing Capital, the podcast, part of the community. So we're grateful. Thank you, Serge. It's good to have you on the show. Yeah,
Great
of course. Well, you're the guest this week. You're the special guest this week. So we want to learn about your story. Everyone we have on the show is definitely, obviously, associated with boxing in some sort. But you have a special background from amateur to pro to now trainer. So take us to your early days out in Ukraine and how you got out to America, got to know this fool here.
How you got into boxing?
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
My mom, Sammy knows my mom. Sammy used to train my mom when I was back in Australia, opening a gym in there. So when I was 6, my mom took me by my ear, brought me to a boxing gym. She says, "Now you're going to be boxing." I said, "No." She said, "Yeah, you're going to do it." And I stayed there till 1991. I won it wasn't Ukraine yet, it was the Soviet Union. So they didn't spread apart yet. Yeah. So then when I became third in the Soviet Union tournament, so I moved to America. First went to Minnesota, had a couple of amateur fights there. Then came to LA, to Wildcard, where I met Sammy. Before I win like Golden Gloves, Navis Division or something. And then Boris, trainer, he's passed away, good memories. Yeah. He said, there is nothing for you to do in amateurs, go to pro. So he turned me pro. I had like 11 fights, 9 wins, 1-1, and 1 draw and 1 loss. And I kind of quit fighting at that time. Then at the Boris tournaments, at Boris Memorial Day, his students came to me and they say, "Train us." Then Freddie Roach, he gave us a special time for the Russian group. Of course, it wasn't only a Russian group.
In the evening.
At the night time. So everybody was coming there. It was cool. That's where I became coach. Then in a while I moved to Australia. I took Roman for a fight, went there only for 2 weeks, and then I ended up opening a gym there. Came back only 10 years later, instead of 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And it took me 3 years to regroup, and here we go. 6 months ago, we opened this gym.
Yeah.
And thanks God, everything going successful.
Yeah, that's awesome. Why did you you had 11 fights? Why did you call it early? That's not a lot of pro fights.
It is.
What made you transition from pro to?
Actually, at that time, I quit boxing totally. I'm like, I want to do something else, and we opened this imaging center, MRI, CAT scan in Inglewood. So like when I had to drive and the wild card was on the way, I was going just around, so I don't even see it. Like no more boxing in my life. And then when my coach passed out and his memorials, so student pulled me back in.
Yeah.
You know how they say? Just when it was I'm out, they pulled me back in.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, that's what I say.
It was an amazing experience, like all that kids who came, like first I was on smart, I know who's going to be champion, who's not going to be champion, like pay attention to one person, and not enough attention to the other people. Then people who pay attention, they fucked off.
Yeah.
And who didn't know how to fight, Dimitri, he stayed, he was my first student who I took to the ring. Then he won the Golden Gloves, and he like proved like it doesn't matter how you look, what you do, you can be a fighter.
Yeah.
And after that, like I learned so much from them. So like coaches.
Wow.
Now no more stepping out of boxing. That's it. It's my life. I'm not even trying anymore.
You can't run from it.
I can.
That's good. That's good. That's good. Sammy, when did you become a trainer?
Why did I become a trainer?
Yeah, when/why?
When?
Yeah.
When? 97 after I retired. I retired in 97. Had my last fight in Washington State, in the Seattle area. And after that, I knew what I wanted to do. My body was not quick enough to get it done. I'm like, man, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to retire. And a friend saw me on TV when I fought, and they were like, man, you didn't look like yourself. You know, you're quick and everything, but you didn't look like yourself. He said, and my wife was crying when she saw you. I was like, oh, fuck this. This is time for me to stop. I'm not doing this anymore. So after that, to tell you the truth, I really didn't know what to do with myself. So I said, okay. I went and I talked to Freddie and said, look, can I train people here at Wildcard? He said, yeah, you can go ahead and train people. My first client was Robert Shapiro, their lawyer, was my first client. Because he used to go there to work out.
Right.
And he saw me training, you know, working out myself. He said, oh, Sammy, show me something. And I showed him some stuff, what to do. He said, are you still fighting? I said, no, I retired.
Right.
Taking training. I said, yeah, I'm always around. So that went from 1 day to 2 days to a week, a month. I started training his wife and all of her friends. And that's how I started training. You know, it was not even training fighters. I trained him, trained his wife Linnell and all of her friends. And from there, people said, make flyers. And I put out flyers. Never got anybody from the flyers. It was just from word of mouth.
You're right.
So it's almost like what you know. You know, if you put out a good vibe of what you know and you prove yourself to the people that you work with, you can always get people in this business.
Right.
You know, to recommend you to other people. So I kept doing that, but at the same time, I still had that edge of a competition. So I'm like, man, this is good and everything like that. But what else can I do? A friend of mine called Kenny Wack. He was hosting. You know, had a little comedy thing in the valley. He said, "Oh man, I'm doing this show. Can you come down and watch?" I said, "Okay." I went there. And Kenny's the big time. He used to be a fighter too. And then, but he was also a writer on the how you call it, Martin Lawrence, the Martin Lawrence show. Yeah, he was also a writer on
Martin,
that. Yeah,
that's funny.
So when I went to the place, Martin was there that night. Martin went to a club that night. He went up and did a little stuff at the club. Then I asked Kenny, I said, how can someone get on your stage? He said, you know, you just bring the person and let them get up there and they'll see what they got. He said, who you want to promote? I said, no, I don't want to promote anybody. I want to do this. I want to do it myself. and all of these things kind of like made me who I am. He put me up there the next week. I went up, really, to tell you the truth, for 3 minutes. For 3 minutes.
I gotta see this. I gotta see this.
For 3 minutes, I had everybody going.
Come on, yeah, I'm pretty sure I got no doubt in saying it.
And all I did, I zero on 2 girls that were sitting right up front.
Oh,
They're on the
gosh.
front row. Beautiful girls from Chicago. I walk up, look at them, to everybody's door. I had to say hi, I'm Sammy, little man from West Africa. I said, sis, I talked to the 2 girls up front, and I asked them to get up. They got up. I asked them to turn around. They turned around, and I look at them. I was like, Lord, you see, that is why we Africans have a whole bunch of kids.
Oh my God.
That's why we have a whole lot of kids. He said, look.
Oh my
Look
gosh.
at these beautiful creatures of God. Look at them. When an African man come off the farm or come from work in the evening and walk in the house and have people like this to greet them, I mean, is the best thing. And if you have someone looking like this feeding you and smiling in front of you, what else? You start making babies. and that went over very well. And I did comedy for about 7 years.
From a butt jokes?
Yes, from a butt jokes.
It went over very well.
Yeah, it went very well.
I wonder if it would, if in this day and age it would go over very well.
In a day and age, it will go over very well because the thing is, it was not like demeaning. I saw them; they're beautiful, and
You got to stand up and turn around.
and turn around, and they turned around, and they sat down, and I was like, "Look, come on now." Look at
It's
that.
working.
Yes,
It worked.
they got beautiful bodies, and they had,
He couldn't resist.
I couldn't resist it, and they had beautiful bodies, and they had a table
So
in the
it's
back.
just a table in the back.
They had a table in the back.
So you essentially were flirting for 30 minutes or 3 minutes. And
Yeah, 3 minutes. I was flirting.
Yeah,
I was flirting for 3
For a
minutes.
boxing
and,
One round.
and,
One round.
and one round, and after that, people like, wow, that was so good. All of a sudden, people started saying hi to me and trying to shake my hand. I'm like, shit, this comedy shit thing kind of look like my work.
Jesus Christ.
I did some buck joke, and people like me. And I felt like I was in the ring again. Because I actually felt like I was competing.
Yeah, it was about you.
I was against the audience. It was me versus the audience. I had to perform for them to laugh. And when I did that, it brought that rush back to me, that boxing rush. Like, yeah, in the ring, and I'm boxing, and people actually enjoying what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
So that kept me in a comedy for about 7 years.
Yeah, that makes sense. When you're in the ring, you're on stage essentially,
Yes.
and you're entertaining the fans.
It's
and
about you.
It's entertainment.
Yes.
So you were still in that realm.
Yep.
When's the last time you did? I gotta see this. I gotta see
Actually, Kenny does the next show on Tuesday. Next
Yeah.
Tuesday.
next Tuesday.
Yeah,
In
next
Mariachi-
Tuesday.
in Mariachi restaurant.
Yeah, next Tuesday, I'm going to the America Got Talent finals. After that, then I'm going to the Kenny White show.
Are you in the finals?
No, I'm not in the
Okay.
finals.
You're just
I'm not in the
going.
finals. I'm
You're
just
like-
going to
Surprise.
Let me.
I'm just going to watch. I'm going to watch the finals. Then from there, I'm going to the Kenny White show.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
And you're gonna be on stage.
And I don't know if
this
I'm going to
time,
go on.
but maybe.
I have not been on stage for a while, but I got a whole ton of crap I can talk about though.
Maybe you need
This
to
is your
tune in.
stage now.
Yeah, this is my stage, So I come in, I talk about boxing, talk about the frustration in a boxing, talk about where people need to give the fighter a little bit more of their worth, and stuff like that, because I just think it's sometimes messed up, but. This weekend was pretty good. Golden Boy show was a good one at the Commerce Casino.
Mm-hmm.
I think I like that. For a long time, I have not seen a card that was put together that was that well done.
Right. Yeah.
Every fight on
every
there was
fight.
good.
Yeah.
Every fight, from the first fight to the end,
Yeah.
was good.
Yeah. Well, let's get into that. You guys were both. Well, you were at Commerce
Yeah,
Casino.
you were at the casino.
you were
I was on my phone.
watching on the zone. Yeah. Yeah. Tell us about your experience. You had a fighter on the card. But yeah, what was your overall vibe? We've only been to the Commerce Casino for the 360
Yeah,
fights.
360 fights.
Yeah, a while ago.
The last one was like 3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
3
Yeah,
weeks
yeah.
ago, we went to that one, and it was good. But I tried to go to the fight last night. It was sold out. I'm like, damn, I didn't know Golden Boy. I mean, it's not really a big place, but it was sold out.
Oh yeah, because you usually I bought the ticket at the door, came over, it's sold
Yeah.
out. So I had to find somebody who sneaks me in.
Yeah, you snuck in. You had to
Yeah,
sneak in. That's funny.
I had to make it because one of Victor Morales, he was fighting in the show, and he trains in our gym when he comes from Texas to train for the fights.
Yeah.
So he comes with his father, and like he's one of the most hard workers
Yeah.
that I ever saw.
Wow.
And yesterday he performed good.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
a great fight, good
Yeah.
show.
Yeah. Well, let's start with the girls. Or did you watch a fight before that? I started at the girls' fight.
Yeah, I watched the first fight. Yeah, I watched the first fight. Yeah, look, all the fights were good. I watched the first fight.
It's Priest versus Madsen. Eric Priest versus
Yeah.
Simon Madsen.
Yeah.
You watched that one.
Yeah,
How
I
was
watched
it?
It was good. It was good. I mean, this card actually, if I can say anything, if I can say something about this fight that made it a good card, was that everyone that deserved to win won.
And it was a lot of action in the fight. Right? They
Yeah.
didn't use theater
Yeah.
too much. They just
You know,
stay in there
everyone
and
that
brawl.
deserved to win won. Nobody got screwed on this card.
Right.
Everyone went there and worked hard. They put in the work, and they got the result that they got the result that was granted them. But it was not one fight where somebody stunk and they still got the win when they were not supposed to. So it was a good card. That's the best thing that ever happened to boxing. I think more cards in boxing should be like this.
Yeah. Okay. Golden Boy stepping it up.
Yeah,
'Cause
of
they,
course.
they sometimes their cards just don't make sense to me. Like any sort of fighter associated with
Golden
the zone.
Boy.
No, the
Yeah,
zone.
the zone, yeah.
Like Matchroom and
Yeah.
Golden Boy are a little iffy to me, but yeah, I'm glad to hear that.
Oh,
Especially you were there. It was
they
good.
really did well this time.
Yeah.
Probably they're listening to people complain. Maybe.
Maybe.
I hope they do more next time.
Yeah.
I mean, keep the same kind of vibe.
Yeah, I mean, probably a lot of it had to do with it's Mexican Independence Weekend.
Mexican
yeah,
Independence,
yeah. Sign up
yeah.
with the
So
right people.
yeah, so
Probably.
that's-
Yeah.
The main event, was a Mexican versus Filipino. Yeah, which was a really good fight. But we'll
Yeah.
get there. Let's first start with the girls' fight. How was it live? The girls' fight.
Oh, man.
Valle versus Santizo.
That was a little brutal.
Yeah.
And so much action. They did very good, and honestly, like, I didn't expect it.
Yeah.
I mean, good boxing. Women, women boxing getting very good, getting very good. It's not the slappy cat fight.
Yeah, you can,
It's not a slappy cat fight. This were two young women actually in there doing their best. I mean, one young woman and one older woman. Because, yeah.
Well, I know Valle, I think, what's her last name? Or Yocasta Valle.
Yeah.
She fights at a wild card. I remember
Yeah.
I tried talking to her, but I
Yeah,
don't
she
speak
she
Spanish.
a train
She's from Costa
she a train at wild card when she's in the States, but you know she lives in Costa Rica
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And according to what, because I talked to her manager and stuff like that. According to what they tell me about her celebrities in Costa Rica, she's doing some good work.
Yeah.
With,
Yeah, she's really big. She's really big
with our kids. You know, even is there a reason why they pass a law to actually for the fun or sports for kids and all
Oh, wow.
that.
Wow.
You know, so she's not using her celebrity just because she's making money or making a living. She actually trying to improve the lives of
Yeah.
other people
Yeah.
in her country, which is
that's awesome.
more than what some millionaire boxers in America does.
Oh, yeah, big time.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
'cause
awesome.
Everybody trying to show off what kind of car they can drive and all of that,
Right.
and forget the neighborhood they came from, you know, and stuff. But you know, but
Yeah.
I mean, she's doing so well that the country proud of her. The president texts her or call her every time before a fight.
Oh, wow. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. You know, she's using her platform
Yes.
to be an activist for her country, which
Yeah.
is big, which
Yeah,
is
for
big
her
time.
people,
you
you
know,
know?
yeah,
Yeah.
giving back to the community. That's awesome. Yeah.
For people, it's a lot. You know?
Yeah.
It's a good motivation. There is
Yeah.
a hero to look up to,
Yeah.
especially for a small, poor country.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
her younger sister fight in a week, I think. Yeah.
She has a younger sister
Yeah.
who fights
yeah,
pro
yeah,
too.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
She got a younger sister that fight pro. So her younger sister fight, I think, in a week. That might be in Costa Rica, yeah.
Oh, wow.
If I probably have the time, I'll go to that fight.
In Costa Rica.
Yeah.
You're just gonna up and go to Costa Rica.
Yeah,
next
I mean,
week?
well, yeah, I mean, just get a visa and go to Costa
Just
Rica.
get a visa in a week.
Yeah, get a
and go to
visa
Costa
and
Rica.
I mean,
Man, you are a
I
comedian.
mean, you're coming from. Look, when you have an American passport, you can go anywhere in a week.
Oh man, that's funny. But no, that was a good fight. I mean, I thought she was gonna get her out of there. Sometimes your opponent just doesn't fall.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Some people,
Yeah.
some opponent refuse to follow the game plan.
yeah.
You know, say I'm gonna punch you and I'm gonna crack you. I mean, cause you trying to knock her out.
Oh yeah.
She tried.
And
She
I was,
tried.
Yeah, I was shocked the girl was still standing up a few times.
Yeah.
But this is why I say, Serge, I go on a rant every time I see a female fight. He's sick of it. But they need to be 3-minute rounds.
There you go.
I think it needs to be 3-minute rounds. I think that would have changed the girl would have not made it to the end of the fight if it was 3-minute rounds.
It was like
But-
3-minute rounds.
But again, we have our first 3-minute round fight. I don't think it's the first, but the first one in at least
Yeah,
like
in a long time.
very, very long time, decades. I think October, Amanda Serrano versus, I forget the other girl's name, but Amanda Serrano is fighting 3-minute round for female. 12 rounds, 3 minutes. True championship boxing. So, you know,
That's good. No,
Yeah.
I love. I
maybe
mean,
we'll get there.
you're
It'll
right.
be normal.
No, you're right. I mean, you say we need to be equal in everything we do, so let's do this 3 minutes. You know, as
Yeah.
girls. I mean, no, but I'm so proud that the women boxing getting to be a little bit more of a good fight. Because I love to see the women fight. I don't know why.
There was before, but then for a while.
Yeah,
when,
I mean, it was just
you know,
like a slapping.
Lucia Riker.
Yeah. No. Lucia Riker was one of the best women
Ever.
in the world, but the fights that they should have had never happened.
That's right.
You know,
You talk
she
about
was
Christy
she
Martin.
should have fought Christy Martin. That fight never happened.
business.
Don King had Christy Martin. Bob Arum had Lucia Riker. And they could never, ever agree for the two girls to get together. These freaking promoters are jokes sometimes.
Yeah,
They pisses
yeah,
me off.
yeah.
They could never work together to get the girls to fight
Right.
until the both of them got old. Then I was watching something on YouTube. I didn't really, because later Ali is also a friend of mine. I know her. I didn't know she fought Christy Martin till when I saw the stuff on YouTube today.
Yeah.
And she whooped Christy Martin butt till her husband, who was a trainer, had to stop it.
Yeah, that's right.
Christy, yikes. No. Yeah, Christy Martin, that whole, first of all, situation with her husband. That's a whole documentary, literally a whole documentary. Yeah, literally. But yeah, no, Layla Ali was a beast, and like you were saying, like back in that era of female boxing, you had a lot of women who were big names and had the potential to be superstars. And I think, honestly, at that point, you know, like Christy Martin, Layla Ali, they did a better job of like transcending the sport, and they were just kind of like celebrities.
Yeah.
But now, you know, females can just be boxers and make a living doing that. And like you said, we're talking about Valle, the Costa Rican, who can use their platform for good in their country and stuff like that. But the competition as a whole is just way better.
Yeah,
way
it's
better
gotten
than
a lot
it was
better.
back then.
Yeah,
so,
it has.
So yeah, but it's good to see the female game is progressing. We're getting to 3 minutes. Hopefully that's normal. And then hopefully, you know, it's normal for them to make millions of dollars for being a main event.
I think unfortunately, you know, coming from a man's standpoint, because I'm a man, but the thing about it, unfortunately, that's going to take a little bit more time.
Mm-hmm.
Some woman has to actually, how you call it, do something a little bit more than just try to be pretty or talk a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like the girl from Detroit.
Clarissa Shields.
Yeah, Clarissa Shields. Great fighter. But I think sometimes she put her foot in her mouth too much.
Yeah, we talked about this.
Yeah.
We talked about this. You like Clarissa Shields?
I like how she fights though.
Yeah. What about her? Her. Yeah.
Listen,
Yeah.
I'm not sure. It's a publicity, whatever she's trying to make out there. It's her business.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think she should be a little bit humble,
Yeah.
Yes.
more humble.
Yeah. I mean, look, you a lady, okay? Crazy, unnecessary talks, like being trying to be a thuggish like kind of thing. I don't think it is a good place to put yourself as a woman. She sometimes come out that way to me, which I think she don't need that.
No, because she's literally the best.
Yeah, she don't need
With her
that.
just accolades.
You are the best at what you do. Everybody want to be you. You know, look, you don't have to flaunt nothing for anybody to. Just be you. Just be calm. Be respectful of yourself, and everyone else that are looking to compete with you will respect you a lot bit more than, you know, a little bit more than you think. Instead of trying, you know, you're not one of the guys. I don't give a damn how well you will fight. You're still not one of the guys. You are a lady. Be a lady. And when you are a lady, people respect you. People respect that. We human beings, I don't care how society try to make us change, when we ourselves, people see you for who you are.
That's
You know, and that's the best thing. That's the best thing, especially in this game of boxing.
Especially boxers, they know for being humble. MMA fighters, they're very different. They got
Yeah.
a shorter career, that's why they gotta talk and
Yeah.
fighter.
I mean,
the
just
less
be
you talk, the
humble.
more you do.
Just be humble.
Yeah.
She's a damn good fighter. She's a very good fighter. I know she's trying to challenge the boy from Florida.
Yeah, you don't do that.
Who?
She's trying to challenge the boy from Florida. he talks a lot too. He talk a lot of crap, and he don't fight just as much as the Chalo brothers.
The one from Florida.
He from Florida. What's his name? He from Manny Pacquiao. Pacquiao
Oh,
whooped his butt.
Thurman.
Started, yeah, Thurman. She challenged Thurman, and he said, yeah, you know, she want to fight. Fight her, and blah blah blah. He another big mouth. Yeah, he's another big mouth that talks a lot but never fight.
No, yeah, he's I don't know. He's supposed to fight Errol Spence or Crawford next, and I don't know about Keith Thurman. I'm really upset he cut his hair though.
He all terrible. Over the place. You are?
He cut his hair.
You upset he cut his hair?
Yeah. He
Why?
looks terrible. That was like his brand, his hair. And he cut it and he looks like an old man now to me.
Well,
he had nice hair.
Because he looked that way because that's what he is. No,
whatever.
I mean, he said, I'm mad he cut his hair. Well, I'm sorry.
Well, he had nice hair.
He should have put a memo out.
He lost some fans, including me, after he cut his hair.
Hey, Thurman, grow your hair back. You might guess. You probably grow your hair back and shut up. You might get a fight.
That's it. Good advice, man. You should charge for advice. You should just start charging money for advice.
Oh man. But yeah, like I think a lot of girls could take a book out of Valla's, page out of Valla's book, and using their platform for good and bettering their community. Like what you're doing, Serge. So, but give us a rundown of your guy, Victor Morales. I have all my show notes here.
He was
versus
a cool main event.
Palomares, yeah.
Palomares,
cool
yeah.
main event.
Palomares is a very, very dangerous fighter, so I was like kind of a little cautious. Then when Victor got a cut in the first round, I'm like, ooh.
Yeah.
But the corner did such a good job on stopping the blood. Victor, he didn't stop Victor for a second. He went by the plan, exactly by the plan. And the last round, he really opened up. I'm like, man, I really like for this guy. I need for this guy. He's such a hard worker. Every time I see him when he's dropping weight and everything, so determined, doesn't talk much. Not like other people.
Yeah.
I think this is the very next big name we're gonna see.
What weight is he?
He's lightweight.
Lightweight,
132.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, he really show he's a clever fighter. He really shows some heart, and it was good that his father believes in him.
And smart too, smart fighter, not only hard.
A smart fighter. Smart fighter just, and he's small, so because of that, he has to work hard every time.
Exactly.
Every time you go out there, you have to work hard. We're in that weight class. I mean, you got bigger guys in that weight class. So for him, he had to work real hard all the time.
Right.
When he goes out there to fight.
And he showed he can take a punch, he can land a punch, he can be there, and he proved himself.
Right. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, how often does he come here?
It's already the second time.
Oh, okay.
Before the first fight, he was fighting Oscar De La Hoya Cart.
Okay.
Golden Boy promotion, same thing. Golden Boy didn't like him, and they said, we're going to smash him in the first round. It didn't happen, and now he likes him, now he presents him.
Yeah.
Now he changed his attitude.
Was it cut from the first round?
From the first round.
I mean, from a headbutt?
It looks like it was a headbutt.
Okay.
And it was like a big one in the first round. It opened up so much blood. But then after that, I don't know what they did, how they did it, but corner did a good job. His dad is amazing coach too.
Wow. That's awesome. How does it change? Well, I know, Sammy, when you say, "Oh, if I see blood in the ring, oh, I love it. I love it." You know,
not my blood. If I see my opponent blood, I want to make them bleed more.
When you see blood, when you see him getting tired, it gives you a little more motivation.
But
for a guy who getting cut, you gotta be like really determined. Like
whether they are getting tired or not, when I see blood, it's like something else. Something else happens to me. I want more of it. But outside the ring, I see blood.
Only a boxer would say that.
I would throw up. I would throw up. But in that ring, if I cause someone to bleed,
then you're gonna punch one in the same spot.
I want more of it.
Every punch gonna go the same spot where the blood.
No, I try not to miss that spot.
Listen. You see chance for a winner, like shortcut for to win. Of course, you want to win the fight.
But what about the flip side? What if you see that you have a big cut going on? Does that change it in your mind of like, oh, they may actually stop this fight? I better go and
If you get doubts, if you get that kind of thoughts, that's it. The fight is over. You have to say nothing. I don't care. Who cares? I'm here to win, whatever it is.
yeah.
If I get cut,
Which Sammy get?
it don't change a whole lot. It don't change a whole lot. The thing is, when I get cut, it give me an incentive to try to end it quicker, because I don't want my blood all over the place and cause them to think I'm getting hurt because I'm bleeding. You know, I try to find a way to end it quick or make them look like nothing. You know, so
But you still gotta give a little bit thoughts about like if it's on the right side, and keep your right hand up and don't get punched there anymore because you don't want it to open more.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
and
Little
when
things
you
like
get
that.
in the corner, you get that adrenaline. And
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeesh.
But you saw some fight on ESPN. What did you see?
Yeah, we'll get there. Let's talk about the last fight because I know you had some stuff to say.
Yeah.
Zepada versus Gesta,
Yeah.
on the DAZN card. Zepada wins, knocks him out in the sixth round.
Stop him.
So you were there live and you saw the fight on TV.
Not
so
knock him out.
Stop
Stop
them.
them.
Yeah.
Stop
I gotta
them
watch
by
the
the
TKO,
referee.
not a KO. Yeah.
TKO. Technical knockout.
Yeah,
KO
TKO.
isn't KO.
Yeah. But yeah, what was your impression live?
Man, that was amazing because the Filipino guy, he could take some punches, and he did take some punches, didn't back down. But then after the second round, third round, you just see the guy like
Yeah.
he punches so hard and like non-stop, persistent, and pam, pam, and then he started speeding up, picking up speed, punching more punches. That's it. He just broke him. He broke him mentally and physically.
Wow.
It was an amazing fight.
Yeah.
I mean, I never seen this kid fight before. The Filipino I've seen fight, but Vayed I've never seen fight. Seeing him fight last night, he would give anybody trouble in that weight class.
Zepada.
Yes,
Yeah.
he would give anybody trouble in that weight class, including Tang, Stevenson. Because the thing about it, I don't think he punches that hard. So maybe if he when he fight a puncher that can go through that barrage of punches he's gonna come with, if you can go through that and be able to land some good hard shots, you might slow him down. But he's a dangerous fighter in that 135 class because he goes to the body. This sucker seems to be like a motor mouse. You kind of wind him up, and he goes. The bell ring. The boy's fast. The boy's fast.
Yeah.
And they were trying to talk about Ryan Garcia or whatsoever. He would smoke Ryan Garcia for a joint. No, seriously. Talking about Ryan Garcia, and no. Zepada will smoke Ryan Garcia for a joint. I mean, anyone that will fight him, I'll say he would be the one most of the fighters at 135 going to want to stay away from.
Yeah, probably. I mean, well, Ryan Garcia is moving up to 140. Apparently, that's what the move is going to be. But
he and Haney, they're playing the Haney stuff.
Yeah. They're dipping. You know, they're afraid of the rest of them. But yeah, the lightweight division needs to see some better action. Since we're on the topic, so last time we were talking about Shakur. I was supposed to be fighting Frank Martin. I don't know if you've heard of this, but they were supposed to fight, and then Frank Martin decided to not sign a contract, essentially ducking Shakur or whatever. So now Shakur is fighting De Los Santos. I'm pretty sure he is Dominican or Puerto Rican. So it should be a good fight. But I mean, I think Top Rank took a page from your book because last episode you were saying, go find some Hispanic, and they really did do that. Yeah, he's Edwin DeSantos. He's Dominican.
Because they have
16 and
people
1
in the world, there are boxers across the world that you can use for a fight. Don't look for one particular person. all these jokers that are trying to say, oh, give me more money. Yes, I agree. You need more money to fight. Yes. But you know what? Stop overpricing yourself. If you overprice yourself, you don't worth that. What have you put out for us to want to give you so much?
Well, what's the balance? Because we're saying at the same time Shakur shouldn't be taking 75-25 versus Devin Haney.
Yeah,
so,
no.
So.
Well, what's the balance?
Yeah. What's the balance?
Okay. If you look at the stock of Shakur versus Haney, yeah, Haney got all the belts, which is great. But the competition that he faced to get those belts, I mean, we're in an old mediocre competition. He got the fights that he got for the belts because you had mediocres having the belt. So he went in there, beat them up, and took the belt. Now you're the man, okay? You're the king. You have someone of equal ability or even more. Your stock might be the same. So why you want to give someone 25% of what? 50-50. Let's see,
Or, 60-40.
60-40. Okay, you saying you got a belt. Let's say you got those zing that you put around your waist. Okay, take that. 60-40. Fine. But 25 for what? Except you're telling me that you're afraid of me.
Yeah, you don't want to fight me.
You don't want to fight me,
Yeah.
so
because he's not going to sign.
You want
that,
to diminish my stock. So what? For what? No. So that when I come there and beat your butt, you can still say, "Oh yeah, I'll sucker that fool into taking short money." No.
Yeah. Oh.
No, so I don't think so. And the thing about it is, like, people are demanding so much, and look, they need to stop. They need to stop. You're a fighter. You're a fighter. We know everything. We see you fight. Don't go overpricing yourself. You overprice yourself. Who are you gonna fight? Okay, you can hold a belt. Hold it. We will fight around you, and still make more money.
Well, I mean, he dipped, so.
Yeah.
He dipped 135 and is up to 140. Talking about Haney. So we'll see. I mean, the lightweight division, I don't know. In my opinion, can easily start turning into the heavyweight division where the main four guys who we all want to see don't fight each other. So
like back in the day when they used to have you had the heavyweights. People everyone looking for the heavyweight because they were the big puncher and stuff. Then started having the middleweight, Ray Leonard or Mike McCullough. You had Marvin Hagler, Bosa Edwards. You had you had a couple of fighters from Uganda that was when the middleweight started having all the big knockouts. Most of the big money came to the middleweight. Now you had their lightweight is packed with a ton of fighters that can really fight. Let these guys fight and get them big purses because they are worth the money. That's how I think the promoters need to move the money around in the game. The way that got the more concentrated great fighters, put more money in that way.
Yeah. Until the other ones, earn their stock. So yes. I think that's fair.
No, seriously.
I think that's fair.
And the lightweight got some great fighters. Great fighters. I mean, I'm telling you, that Zepada, whatsoever from Mexico, that sucker can fight.
Yeah,
he can fight.
So it'll be interesting to see who he fights next because I think he's moving up and I think he's ranked pretty high.
Yeah.
And so he definitely can be in the conversation
that boy can fight anybody now.
Right.
He can choose.
He can fight anybody now. He can fight the Tank. He can fight the pit bull. Pitbull, he might take Pitbull out of there early. No, seriously.
Yeah. I
because
agree.
he
Pitbull's-
can. This boy is quick.
Mm-hmm.
The sucker, he kind of like the other awkward one that fought the last time bust up. I'm sorry, I don't know names, people. I don't remember names. But the thing is, when they had the Mexican show in Arizona,
Okay. Which one?
when the two Mexicans, they were like,
Oh, Navarrete versus
yeah.
Valdez. Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
it's like Navarrete, but with quicker hands than Navarrete. Navarrete is awkward.
Very.
He's has a little bit of speed, but this sucker, I mean, he is quick, and every round he got faster.
Right. Yeah.
You know, so
I think it'll make great business sense, strategic sense for Shakur to fight him next.
Yes.
Like you were talking about,
That would be a good fight.
Yeah, exactly.
that would
Exactly.
be a great fight. That
Yeah.
would be a great
People
fight.
will pay money for
And
it.
Yeah.
they can, both of those guys can fight after Shakur beat up this fella he's
De Los
supposed to
Santos.
fight.
Ty should be matchmaker.
Yeah.
I know.
Definitely.
Yeah,
See?
start paying me, guys. Come on.
No, Shakur should fight him, and I'm telling you, it would be a great fight, and I'll even pay $200 to see that fight.
To somebody to sneak you in.
Yeah, $200 to sit with the birds to see that fight. Because
Yeah,
I'm
we'll
telling
go.
you,
Maybe
that
we'll
would be
be
a
invited.
great fight.
We called it here first, Boxing Capital, Zepada versus Shakur. If that happens,
Yeah.
we need ringside seats.
Yeah, I know. I am telling you,
And we'll
that would
commentate.
be a great. That would be a great fight. De La Hoya need to go back to his former promoter and make a get some great negotiation. You guys had some of the best. Okay, Aram loved the Mexican fighter. You love the Mexican fighter, the Hispanic fighter, but make it work. Put Shakur in there with any of these guys, and let's see what happens. And I think that would be a fight I would pay anything to go see.
Yeah, it'll be a good one. But let's move on to the fights on ESPN Top Rank. I don't know if you got a chance to watch, because I think it was
No,
the
I
same
didn't
day that
see
you
it,
were
so.
at Commerce. But we'll actually start with the main event. Luis Alberto Lopez defeating Joet Gonzalez, unanimous decision. I like Luis Alberto Lopez. He's got an interesting story. He has like 5 amateur fights, and he just turned pro. Yeah, then he lost his first 2 fights, and now he has his 3rd successful defense of his title. So
Oh, wow.
yeah. So he's
how many
got
fights he got?
he's got 20, I think
Wow.
26, 28.
26.
I think he's like 20 at this point, maybe like 27-2 or something like
27
that.
and 2.
Don't quote me.
So he has 3 amateur fights.
Very few amateur fights. Very few amateur fights.
Wow.
Started off really
That's
slow
good.
in the pros.
I mean,
and
but
then
look.
now he's a world champ.
The amateur game is great for the upliftment of the country or whatsoever flag that you represent when you're in the amateurs, because they don't pay these kids anything, except where in the United States, if you make the national team, the Golden Gloves sponsors you.
Right.
I know a couple of guys that have gone to college and gotten their college fee paid. You were all through college on the Golden Glove because they were national champions,
Right.
and they stay on the national team. Never got beat.
Probably was a while ago, because today amateur boxing, no promotion, no money at all. They took care of the Olympics, no more Olympics.
No, I mean once you're on the national team, but the thing is, amateur boxing is great, but I'll say if you can fight and you want to go pro, go pro.
I don't know. I think amateur boxing helps with branding, building your name up in your community. I think that's a huge thing. But most importantly, I feel like it gives you the ring generalship and boxing IQ that
Yeah.
you need
Yeah,
before
you're
you
right
kind of
about
like,
that.
you know, progress into the pros. So I think it's
That's true.
important.
You're
But
right about that,
it's
but-
also a luxury sometimes because, you know, I don't know his situation, but if you're coming from a lot of guys and coming up in Mexico, especially, you know,
Yeah.
coming up in really poor conditions. So it's like, okay, I can't really afford to stay, you know, amateur. I got to start finding some ways to make some
of
money.
course. Yeah.
So I mean that plays into it, but I think it's good. I would advise a fighter to have more than 5 amateur fights before going
amateur
pro.
in developed countries,
Yeah.
amateurs in developed countries where you might be able to get some incentives, fine. But amateurs in poor countries that you can actually fight 15, 20 fights, I think is a whole lot.
Yeah.
Because holding these kids back, having 200 fights, 300 amateur fights, for what?
That's like Lomachenko.
Yeah.
Waste
Yeah.
his
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
300 amateur fights, 200 amateur fights. Like kids in Cuba can't fight pro till they run away and go to another
How
country.
much damage they take for
Yeah, you know. For nothing. For someone to give you peanut money
Yeah.
to go pay a rent and buy bread in the evening. Come on, give me a break.
How many amateur fights is like the sweet spot for you? Or does it depend on the fighter if you're, you know, that you're training?
I had myself over 100 amateur fights back in Ukraine before I was 16. So
Wow.
that's when I came here.
Yeah.
That's too much.
And you fight a lot.
Yeah.
It was a good base for me because I was lucky to come here and turn pro right away. But if I stay in Ukraine for a little more,
Yeah.
would be end of career.
Yeah.
Couple more years, that's all.
Wow. Wow.
And the incentive was to get to Olympics. Once you get to Olympics, then
Yeah.
you can sign up for a good money, for a good contract.
Right.
But if there is no more Olympics,
Yeah. 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 If you had a fighter that's amateur now, like how many fights would you tell him to have amateur before?
I have a kid. He came from Russia, 15 years old, 189 pounds.
Oh, oh, they were
three times we registered him for a fight. There is no opponent. He got 58 fights back in Russia, and 15 years old. He's got 58
Wow.
fights. Punches like a truck. He sparks kids here from national champions. 1 round, that's it. They don't want to go anymore.
Wow.
But the kid cannot get a fight. Already like 4 months of training for nothing, and his nose going down. You gotta see this guy. He's amazing. Such a good, strong puncher. I get him to spar with the professionals. Professionals a little different, a little more dory.
Yeah.
So like I'm trying to teach him all the dory stuff. But like if we now another year or 2 years he doesn't fight, he's probably not gonna do boxing at
No, I
all.
mean, don't.
I told him, pay patience.
What's his story?
His story, they just ran back. They're waiting for papers, so he cannot go to
Okay.
big tournaments. I'm trying to get him on show. They're getting papers because maybe
Okay.
two more months or so. So
Okay.
maybe silver gloves.
I mean, once he has legal papers that he can fight here. I mean, then you can. I think that would be dead.
It's still tough.
We-
It's so
we-
tough.
I know, but you can still look around. You can look around because with him being legal to a fight, I think you can get a fight.
We're talking about 1 or 2 months if you want to get his social security and everything else.
Okay,
Right
good.
now it's
Okay,
so fast.
once all of that happen, let me know.
All right.
I'll try to talk to some people and see.
Thank you. Then that's very helpful. Because Keith, like I see him,
Yeah.
and no speaking English. Nobody knows him here. No girlfriends anymore.
No, that's good.
girlfriend.
I mean, so when that happened, with I probably call my friend in Vegas, Bosa Edwards, and see if we can get some over there or something. There was a lot. There was a lot
I
you
take him
can.
to Sparta Sweet Science. Everybody allowed him, like, please come. It's such a good work for us. But too far
Yeah,
to go. And right
good
now
work
with
for us.
his
Yeah, what you gonna pay him? You gonna get him something to go buy some soap?
Nope.
No, bull crap. No, I mean, you can look. I'm from another country. When you come here to be able to start professional boxing, it's a headache.
Yeah.
It's a headache. Luckily, when I came, I was on the East Coast. I was in Providence, Rhode Island. So, and my father got all of my papers, work everything done within a year. So, it was easier for me. I had represented New England, went to the Nationals, and there was people that saw me and saw, oh, he can fight, and they signed me to a low mediocre contract, and they helped me leave Providence and come to L.A.
True.
And so that's how my career went. So, but if the kid can fight, trust me, you can get him something. You can get him something. The big problem is papers. Once the papers are right,
Today is easy because there is a war, Ukraine, Russia, so they get papers, they get
Yeah.
documents easier.
Yeah, you know,
I'm
so-
telling you, like 2 months most. If you're
yeah, okay,
The last time they brought a kid to spar him, the kid is 200 pounds, national champion.
yeah.
And I'm telling my kid, like, go easy, we need to work a little bit, so first round, just back up. So he went in there, start smelling the blood, bam, 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 after the first round, like, no more. I'm like, man, come on. Where am I gonna get you
I
sparring
told
partner?
you to go.
Yeah, you know, you can't.
Yeah.
I mean, because he's frustrated. He
Otherwise,
frustrated. He
yeah.
don't want to be. He looking forward to something else, you know. And so, having him just everybody coming to use him as a sparring partner,
Exactly.
I don't think it is a good thing.
It's not fair.
It just me. It just me.
You should
I
see-
don't
you
think
should
it
see
is a
kid.
good thing. You
He's
should keep doing.
189, no fat, pure muscle.
Yeah.
2 more years, he'll be pure heavyweight. Like,
Yeah.
he just
Well,
goes
what?
there.
How old is he?
15 years old.
15.
15,
Okay.
sheesh.
So
Everybody, the last time we went he sparred that kid for 1 round,
Yeah.
his mom coming to me, she said, he's not 15 years old. I'm like, come on, lady, in my gym, I wouldn't lie to you. He's, no, you're lying to me. I'm like,
yeah.
"He's 15
Yeah,
years old."
because whether
Big
he
boy.
15 or he 25, that didn't stop your son from hitting him. You know,
Yeah.
your son should have hit him if he could. You know, so that shouldn't be it. But I say, if the kid is that good, you get his paperwork done. We can get something. We can try to see if we can talk to some people and see.
If I tell him you're gonna help, he's gonna bring his move up.
where
Yeah, that'll be
you
You'll see a
good.
little
you know
incentive,
how
yeah.
you know
Yeah.
see if they can move him.
All right.
You know.
Yeah.
Talk to
Oh,
them,
look
see
at
if
you,
they can move him.
Sammy. Lifting up the
He
youth.
been in the shoes too.
Yeah, yeah, he gets it. That's good. Well, yeah, I'll just briefly talk about a couple of the fights that I watched on that card, and this will lead to this week's Sammy Says, which will kind of be a question for both
That you
of
would
you.
ask.
Yeah. If you have a question for Sammy, if you don't, I can cover you for this week. Anyway, let's get to the last couple of fights that I wanted to talk about. Emiliano Vargas versus Alejandro G. I can't pronounce it. He stops him in the third round.
Alejandro G could fight.
No.
He couldn't fight.
He was okay. He was okay. Nothing impressive. But regardless of how impressive he looked or the opponent was or looked, I mean, he's on the
You
Emiliano.
think Vargas was still going to beat him?
Yeah, 100%. But I'm just saying, like, his technique, the way he looks, his ring IQ, I think there's a lot of pieces there. I think he carries himself well in and out of the ring.
Oh, wow.
You know,
Vargas.
yeah,
That's
he's,
good.
seems very disciplined.
Because what I have seen of his sons, I think the older one try to be too much like the father, talk too much like the father. You know, like 'cause when Vargas was coming up, you know, with the little rivalry between he and De La Hoya and stuff like that, it was like, you know, I'm Mexican and you a Chicano and all this kind of rivalry kind of thing
Yeah.
was a little over the top for me, and I think that's why when he fought De La Hoya, De La Hoya was able to beat him because I don't think his head was in that fight like it should have been, because I think he had enough to be able to beat De La Hoya, but De La Hoya took the fight for what it was, and Vargas was trying to be a celebrity, and there where he
messed up.
There where he messed up.
Yeah. I mean, the son has a little bit of that too, but you kind of have to have that, for the branding and the, excitement and the entertainment. But he performs well and he looks good. I think his technique is good.
Yeah.
Obviously, we got to wait till he, fights some.
Develops.
Yeah, exactly. And fights
How
some.
old is he?
Ooh, 20,
That a
early
younger-
20s.
That a younger son?
I think so. I think he's like
early 20s?
Yeah, early
Damn,
20s.
when Vargas started having kids? When he was 17?
I don't know. I mean, I could.
Look who is talking.
I could.
No. Look, I'm 54.
Yeah, how many kids you got?
I got a 34-year-old son. So,
Mr. Grandpa?
yeah. No. Yeah. I had him when I was 19. So that's what I'm asking.
He's 19. He's 19.
Oh,
so
okay.
20.
At 24, I was like, damn, Vargas had him when you were what?
Yeah.
Because that's the younger son.
I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I mean, I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure. But he looks good. He looks good. I also want to talk about Xander Zayas. We've talked about him a couple of times. The Puerto Rican, 154. He looked good last night too. He won by stoppage. The guy had a.
Was it last night or?
It was Friday.
Friday,
Well,
yeah.
we're recording on Sunday, so yeah, Friday. He had a nasty gash on his nose, and so they ended up stopping the fight. Yeah, the doctors they had the doctor come and check.
Was it from headbutt?
I think it was from a punch. I don't think it was from a headbutt. But yeah, he looked good, and like I said, I think he's at the point now where he's gotta.
You gotta hang it up.
No, he's gotta not. Xander Zayas has gotta fight better
competition.
Start moving up, you know.
Yeah.
I don't think he's in that prospect age anymore. He's got to start contending.
Well, they're gonna keep milking other kids to keep building their record. Which look.
Well, he went pro. They signed him at 16, and I think he's 20, 21.
Is he ranked?
Is he ranked? He's on the cusp if he isn't.
Yeah.
So, but I just think at this stage, I think he's got 16, 17 fights.
Yeah, you need to step it up.
Yeah, you got to start stepping it up. Yeah.
You need to step it up.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, let's get into this week's Sammy Says. Do you have a question for Sammy? We always ask Sammy a question, and we allow him time to go on a rant.
Yeah, who do you think today is the most prospective fighter out of all the weight divisions?
Who do I think today is the most? I mean, I wouldn't pick one particular person. From watching the fight last night, I got a new.
You got a new idol.
I got a new prospect.
Right.
I got a newer look at boxing when it comes to the 135 weight class, which I think right now in boxing is one of the best weight and one of the toughest weight class for any boxer to be in at this point. You got great fighters in that weight class. So I would say, for me, I won't pick one particular fighter. I'll pick the weight class. 135 is where
the
promoters, where the action is. And all the other weight classes need to compete to get up to that stage. Because those guys in that weight class are good. They're good.
And they show fights.
Yeah, they got good boxing IQ in that weight class. You got Shakur Stevenson. You got Tank. Pitbull is rocket. Boxing IQ is not that great, but he's a rocket fighter. And he will fight anybody. I mean, the kid that fought last night, Vaez, what is his name?
Who?
The Mexican kid.
From ESPN?
Yeah.
Vargas. Is that what you're just talking about? Emiliano Vargas? Yeah.
I mean, this kid, he throw over a couple of hundred punches around.
Yeah.
That's 3 minutes.
That's what people want to see.
Mm-hmm.
That's like your hand is on, it is faster than a remote control. And he can fight. You miss him. I mean, he moving his head as long as he punching you. Going to the body. He works everything. And, he gave the Mexican people a good Mexican holiday celebration. That fight.
Yeah.
No doubt.
And I'll say promoters need to take not really take a page out of De La Hoya book from last night. De La Hoya need to practice doing what he did for the Mexican holiday card a little bit more. Give people that kind of fight. Give people those kind of fights for their money. And other promoters need to watch that and say, look, this if you're going to compete in this game, give people what they are paid for. And you got the fighters to do so. Stop holding the fighters back. Let them lose. And everybody will make money.
True.
But you keep holding one guy and trying to look for one particular fight or give him a bunch of mediocre people to a fight, you are destroying other people. I mean, let the competition be a little bit more even.
More fair.
Let the competition be a little more fair. I mean, it's almost like you taking a grown man to fight a 12-year-old kid.
Yeah. There should always be a risk in your fighter losing.
Yeah.
A little bit of a risk.
Risk, yeah.
You know?
Don't just
Challenge,
put people
I
out
should
there,
say.
oh, I am the best. You're the best fighting who? Your sister's boyfriend and her cousin?
So you say De La Hoya, don't be like a Don King.
Yeah, no, I mean, if you go, Don King used to put some very good competition.
Before, yeah, but after.
Yeah. Oh, no. When he got old and turned it over to his son started fucking it up.
That's it.
Yeah, so I think let the competition be a little more. If the competition is closer, I don't think you get that many a damaged fighter at the end of their career, because the competition is close. People know what to see, and they are not going to get hit so much with the kind of shot that would damage them.
Right.
But if the competition one sideways, you get one guy taking a pump, one guy get pummeled, and the other guy walk around like he's the shit.
Yeah,
When he didn't fight anyone that could challenge him.
Yeah, and on the flip side too, if you're supposed to be the main guy and you're fighting, top tier quality, you don't have to fight as many fights. Like there's some guys who are like 25-0, but they fought nobody, and then now after 25 fights, you're now starting to fight
Yeah.
your level of competition. And so you kind of have to like make up the money for those 25 fights where you could have already had like a crap ton at fight 25, like Crawford. Like, I mean, granted he is probably well off at this point, but he's damn near 40 fights now, and he's had decent competition, but like for having the mega fights that he should be having now, like Errol Spence should have happened 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Canelo should have happened 3 years ago. Like Charlo should be like happening already. It should have already happened. So it's
the
just
promoters messing it up.
Exactly.
That's why I say with the promoters, they were a mess up, and yeah, pardon?
It's killing boxing.
Yeah, yes,
Yeah, overall.
they promoters are too much of an ego. I think the fighters should be the one having the ego, not the promoters. Promoters promote and put the fighters out there to fight. Don't keep grabbing people looking for a golden goose and sitting on the egg for 2 years before you can hatch the damn egg. Let them fight.
That's it.
The competition, when the competition is right, too many fighters don't get damaged at the end of their career. It will be good. Everybody will make money. You're looking to make one big payday when you could make that same big payday 10 times.
I'll tell you this thing. How many guys in my gym training and there is no fight? They train just to be ready for the fight when it's coming.
Yeah.
It doesn't come. Ruiz, I got Angel Ruiz here.
Yeah.
Awesome fighter. He didn't fight already, I don't know, for how long? For a couple of months. And he doesn't know when it's coming. Peter Kamoko, awesome guy, Olympian guy. And there is so many good fighters, but there is no fight.
Because
nobody wants them, because there is a risk. So they're going to beat their fighter, so they keep them.
yeah,
aside.
that's why I'll say boxing, need to have need to have an organization that will promote fights for anybody. Don't really tie people down to contracts. You know, you can fight for me. If I had the money to promote fights, I promote fights. I'm not tying nobody down to a contract. If I treat you good, you will always want to fight for me. I won't tie you down to a contract and have you just sitting on the shelf waiting to fight. You fight for me today, I sign you, we do business. If you want to fight for me the next time, that's fine. If you want some kind of a contract, okay, but if I can't provide a fight for you, I should be able to negotiate with other promoters to put you on their card. So the business keep going. But the promoters are so anal that they don't want to loan their fighters to anybody.
Yeah, it's monopoly now.
Yeah, everybody like, oh yeah, I own this. What is this? This in freaking 1929. Why are people trying to own people? No, seriously.
Well,
I own this. If you own this and you can't have them work, let the man go. Or negotiate. Put him on another card. Pay for it. Then he get on another card in a fight.
That would be fair.
One way or the other, you make money. And you still got this man working. But you take a man and tie him down to a contract. For 2 years, you give him one fight. One fight, he make $20,000. What? $20,000 in 2 years for what?
But even up to 2 years is a long time.
Yeah.
The person getting older for the fight, you don't have a long fighter's life.
He getting older,
2 years.
but
And if
he
doesn't compete,
need to
you
make a
lose
living. The man need to make a living.
Make a living, but you don't compete, you losing the skill.
You know, don't sign too many fighters. I mean, I think it should be a rule that one promoter can't sign more than 20 fighters or 30 fighters. That's it. You see? But some of these guys got over 100, 200 fighters. And you sitting down there on the shelf waiting to fight for 2 years. Mm-hmm. Except you a chalo, except you the chalos that love to talk but can't fight.
Yeah.
They will talk for 2 years and fight once.
Yeah.
Well, he's got a big fight versus Canelo. Who do you have before we get out of here?
Canelo.
Canelo.
Yep.
Well, as most people do.
Everybody want Canelo.
Yeah. So Sammy says lightweight division's the best division right now. We say the next big fight in the lightweight division, if it's not going to be Tank versus Shakur, definitely needs to be Shakur versus Zepada.
Zepada, yes.
You know, have us on, you know.
Yeah.
Commentate or something, but you heard it here first. Okay. But let's just get into fights that's happening this weekend. In London, we have Zile Zong versus Joe Joyce. We also have Richardson Hitchens versus Jose Zepada in Orlando. That's on DAZN. That should be a good one. I've been following Richardson for a little minute. And then next weekend, the following weekend, September 30th, we have the big fight, Canelo Alvarez versus Charlo. That undercard's crazy too. So we should talk about the undercard the next.
Are they twins or they?
Yeah, they're twins. They're identical. They're really identical.
Jamal.
Yeah. But yeah, make sure you guys check those out. Serge, as always, thank you so much for being a guest this week.
Thank you, big man.
For being a guest this week.
Thank
you for allowing us to use your space as always. Great gym. Make sure you guys check it out. Also want to give a shout out to our guests. Yeah, Showtime Boxing.
And I want a T-shirt.
Yes.
Yeah, I want to buy one too.
Yes.
Yeah, buy their T-shirts. They got some good gear, Triple G gear. He's probably going to flash it on here. But I also want to give a quick shout out to our guests last week, Dante, Tiz the Influence, and Willie the Bird Jensen for being so gracious. As you guys can see, we're growing, so we really appreciate the support. You know, we're really trying our best here.
Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe.
He's got us, yes. Like, follow, subscribe again. You know, really appreciate the love and support. Yeah.
No, we're gonna pay for it.
Serge is just getting us shirts.
Yeah, we're gonna pay for it. I'm
Yeah.
shirts.
We'll definitely.
How much are they?
They $100. I'm just kidding.
How much that is?
It's awesome shorts. If you guys want to buy, it's a $45 each. But of course, you guys get one for free.
No, we're gonna buy it.
Because
We're gonna buy it. We're gonna support. We're gonna support.
You are doing too much.
Yeah. So make sure you guys get some shirts. Support the local gyms here.
You deserve it.
Yeah, for sure. Again, thank you guys so much for the support, rocking with us, growing with us. You know, we're making moves out here. We really appreciate it. Serge is a huge part of that. So thank you again to our guests who were here last week. Thank you to the supporters that have been here since episode 1, where Sammy and I were just talking in the mic. And then, you know, we transitioned to just talking to my apartment, and now we're in the gym. So you guys can see we're making waves. So we really appreciate it. Sammy, handle this offline. We'll do it after the show. So, thank you guys. We'll see you guys next week.
Don't feel too bad about me. I'm African.
We're Boxing Capital, boxing business, and everything behind the punches. Here live at Showtime Boxing. I'm Tay.
I'm Sammy.
Serge.
And that's Serge.
Peace.
See ya. Great work.